Hi YouTube! So if you've been following our journey so far, you'll know that we've done a fresh cycle and a frozen cycle of IVF and that we're now pregnant. I'm happy to say that I am now a good 13 weeks pregnant, which is lovely. You'll know that if you've seen the previous videos, we've been waiting nearly 5 years for this, so it means the world to us and we're so happy and excited. So in this video I'm going to do a brief outline of how the first trimester has gone for us. I'll be looking at some symptoms, some complications, some things related to food, changes of the body, all that kind of stuff. And then yeah, we'll go ahead and have a look at the scan pictures and take a look at some bump photos as well. So, symptoms. Yeah, let's have a talk about these. So the obvious one that everyone is worried about is sickness and morning sickness. No idea why they call it morning sickness. It doesn't always happen in the morning. I get mine throughout the day. Luckily I haven't actually been sick that much. Have a few times. It's mostly been the nausea that's been really bad. So much so that my doctor's put me on cyclizine, which is an anti-nausea drug. So yeah, even up to now, my nausea has been pretty bad. Other symptoms I have experienced are feeling very tired all the time and having very low blood pressure, which the two come hand in hand, I suppose. I've also had low blood sugar, but that's because I find it very difficult to eat at the moment because of the sickness. So we'll talk about the cravings and stuff later, but yeah, there's very little I can actually fancy eating at the moment, so that's been quite difficult. The tiredness has been quite bad. I get like 12 hours sleep now, and for a former insomniac that's quite a lot. So you know, it's good that I'm getting sleep, but I am tired just throughout the day. What are the symptoms that I had? A few headaches here and there, but nothing too terrible. It's recently I've had that, so going into the second trimester I've had it, which is quite odd, but I thought you would have got it with all the hormones at the beginning and then they start to level off, but no, I seem to be getting mine now. But I mean, I suppose it's different for everyone, isn't it? Okay, so let's talk about some food cravings and aversions. I've mostly had the aversions side of it. I know you get lots of people telling you about, you know, oh, they crave chocolate and they crave salt and they crave this and that and chips with peanut butter and all kinds of weird stuff. But I have basically had aversions where I just hate everything. The weirdest one I've had is chocolate. I cannot stand chocolate anymore. Even the smell of it makes me feel sick, so that's really weird because I used to love it. I used to love beef, which you can't eat the way I like to eat it when you're pregnant anyway, because I like it rare, but even, you know, like slow cooked meat or anything like that, I can't really stomach it at the moment. Even chicken is turning my stomach a bit, which is very weird. I do the sniff test now, where basically if there's a food and someone offers me it, I give it a quick sniff and I'll know there and then whether I'm going to eat it or not. And most of the time it's not, and it makes me feel really sick, but you know. So yeah, it's been difficult with finding things that I can actually eat. It changes like every single day as well. I've actually lost about 1 stone in weight, but I'm still at a healthy weight, so I don't think it's affecting the cup too much. As far as cravings go, I haven't had that many. The only one I've had that was really big was, and I really had to have it right then, is spicy food, which is really weird. I really crave burritos, like Mexican burritos with lots of chili in, and Laz makes this really nice chili sauce as well that you have with chicken, and that's just lovely. And spice and really hot food. I mean, I liked spice before, but now I really love it. It's the one thing that I do really crave. But obviously you can't eat that all the time because it gives you really bad acid reflux, which you get with pregnancy quite a lot anyway. I used to get it quite bad anyway, but now that I'm pregnant it's still pretty bad. So I can't have spicy food all the time. One that I found really easy to eat with the nausea is melon. Watermelon or honeydew melon, because it's so watery and it's quite easy to you don't have to chew it much, it kind of just disintegrates in your mouth. and that's good if you're dehydrated as well. Lots of fruit actually. Oranges I found really good. I found anything that's really sour doesn't really set my sickness off. It's things that are quite sweet or fatty that make me feel quite sick. And carbs as well, something like really bready things like sandwiches and things like that make me feel quite sick. So I tend to stay away from those at the moment, along with a lot of other things, which is difficult. Went through a stage where I wanted McDonald's, which was weird because I hate McDonald's, and for about a week that's all I wanted. But that luckily has passed now, so it's all good. One of the ones that stood out for me at the beginning was the condition of my skin, especially on my face. I don't usually get a lot of spots, but with the beginning of the pregnancy, I basically had acne like all down the sides of my face, and some on my head as well, which is really weird for me. My skin was just really oily, and I didn't really know how to deal with that. But I've tried a few things, and the solution I found that worked for me was switching from using wipes to using cleanser instead. I used just the Simple brand cleanser with some cotton pads, which seems to work really well. I've also changed my face wash to a more gentle one, so I use the Clean and Clear one now from Johnson's, which is sort of a mild abrasive, so it's not too rough on the skin, so it doesn't sort of stimulate more oil to be produced when I wash my face. I found that quite helpful. One thing that I found absolutely amazing, which is a bit costly, but it's a face base and primer and moisturiser by Bobbi Brown. It's basically a vitamin E enriched moisturiser that you put on your face for all kinds of things. It works for using as a primer for makeup, using as a moisturiser, using as a base before you put anything else on. It's really good, and it smells absolutely yummy. It smells like sort of lemons and tangerines. Really nice. So yeah, that's been really good. My breasts have grown. Pretty big. For me, they feel huge, and I've got so I'm quite pale. I can see the presence of a lot of veins coming up, like all over my body, on my legs, boobs, tummy, everywhere. I'm still waiting for the fantastic nails and hair thing. Mine's actually, I haven't got much of it, but it feels quite limp. But I mean, I've got quite a lot of hair anyway. But my nails are still really weak, which a lot of people say they get really strong hair and nails when they're pregnant. I haven't really experienced that, sadly. I haven't had any new stretch marks yet, but I think I probably will, because I'm quite prone to stretch marks anyway. I've had a couple of thread veins in my legs, but no varicose veins or anything like that. Not yet anyway. But I'm waiting on the stretch marks. I'm loaded up with Palmer's cocoa butter everywhere. I've got the lotion and the pre-lotion and then the concentrated version, and all of that kind of stuff, all waiting on hand just in case. And I'm going to start, well, I've started using it already a little bit, but I'll probably start using it daily soon because I am starting to get bigger. So yeah, I think I'll start needing it soon. Otherwise, yeah, I don't think there are any other body changes that I can think of right now. I haven't had many, but there have been a few that have been quite worrying and scary for us, especially because we've been trying for so long. The first one would be I've had a problem with breathing and shortness of breath and getting really out of breath easily. A lot of the times when I'm even just walking a little bit, I'll feel my heart racing and I get really breathless. Even talking at this rate now does make me quite tired and quite out of breath. So yeah, that's been quite concerning. One night I did actually have a problem with my chest where I felt like my chest was really tight and that I couldn't breathe properly and that my heart was racing. And we did actually have to have a paramedic out to us who checked everything for us and said that my heart was absolutely fine, and that it's basically because I have very low blood pressure and low blood sugar. Towards like the middle of the second trimester, it should start to level out because your blood volume increases, and I should start to feel less dizzy and less out of breath. And the low blood sugar is simply because I found it very difficult to eat recently because of the nausea. I've also had a problem with bleeding. I did have a bleed at about 9 weeks, which I also had pain with it as well, some sharp and some cramping pain. So that was quite concerning. It was brown though, the blood that I was passing. It was for about 3 days. And I did go to the early pregnancy unit to have a quick scan to make sure everything was fine with Cub. And they had a look and they said, yeah, that everything looked normal. Yeah, so they said everything was fine then. And then at about 12 weeks, so about a week ago, same thing happened again, but I didn't have any pain this time. But there was a lot of blood, and this time a lot of it was red as well. So that was really scary. The scary part, I didn't even realise I was bleeding. We had some friends over to play cards, and it's not until they went home and I went upstairs to the toilet that I realised that sort of my pants were like full of blood, and that's a terrifying sight, obviously, especially if you've been trying to conceive. Seeing any blood down there is terrifying, because you automatically think, oh my god, it's happening and I'm losing the baby. And especially if you've had a miscarriage before and you've seen that before, you're constantly terrified it's going to happen again. Yeah, that was really scary. But again, I went to my doctor and she sort of assessed the situation. Because I didn't have any pain, she said that she wasn't that worried. Basically, I just have to take it really easy. She's going to be signing me off work again. So I do have to just rest. And yeah, I am resting. Laz doesn't let me do anything. So yeah, it does get boring sometimes. But, it's for the good of the baby. So it's not worth, doing a bit of hoovering or something like that if it's going to mean that I might lose the baby, because it's just not. We've been waiting for so long. Yeah, that's looking alright now though. I'm not bleeding anymore, I'm happy to say. A bit of advice though, if you do have anything that I've mentioned, even though I said it was normal, it was fine for me, if you have anything to do with your chest, tightness of breathing, anything like that, bleeding and pain in the abdomen, cramps, any of those kind of things, just go to your doctor or call someone, especially if you get a lot of bleeding and really intense pain, call an ambulance straight away, because even if you think you're wasting someone's time, you're not. It's better for you to get checked out, and even if it's for your peace of mind, just to know that everything's okay. So that's how everything's been so far. I think I've covered most things. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. You can either inbox me or leave a comment on the video or something. We've had so much support and help through this process, and if you've gone through it yourself, you know just how difficult it is and just how important support from your friends and family are. It's not always easy to thank them and to tell them how grateful you are for what they've done, because you've got so much going on. I'd like to take an opportunity now just to thank some people. We had our fresh cycle on the NHS, which was a big strain off of our shoulders money-wise, but sadly that didn't work, and we had to pay for the second round for our frozen cycle, which obviously we are so grateful that we got to have the fresh cycle with the NHS, because it can be very expensive, I know. So we are really grateful. We know that not everyone gets the opportunity, but with the second one we did have to pay, and that is a strain, knowing how you're going to get the money together, and it's the last thing you want to worry about when you're trying to create a life. So having the support that we had from our friends and family, who did not just give us advice and support, but some did actually help give us some money, and that's how we managed to pay for the second round, which without you we would not have been able to do that. So I just want to personally say thank you to the people that did give us the money, and that's Nana Doris and Grandpa Rick, thank you so much. Joe and Vic, thank you so much for your contribution. Obviously Sata and Trina as well, thank you very much for that. And then there's Alan and Nikki and my dad as well. Massive thank you to you all. We could not have done it without you, literally. I wouldn't be pregnant right now. If we had to save the money up ourselves, we probably still wouldn't have been able to afford it right now. So without you, I wouldn't have been able to experience this amazing experience that we're going through right now. Obviously it's not all about money, even though we did need that. It's about the support that you have along with that. And we have received so much support from everybody, friends, family, random people on YouTube, and it's been invaluable. Especially after our failed attempt with the fresh cycle. We were heartbroken and we didn't know what to do with ourselves, and you know, I was so scared to upload that video of our test results from the fresh cycle. I held on to it for about 2 months because I was just so scared about, you know, revealing that and looking vulnerable, and yeah, it was really hard, but the amount of support we got even following that video was amazing, so thank you all for that. But I do especially want to say thank you to our parents. The support you have given us, it is invaluable, and I know I keep repeating the same things, but there's really, you know, I can't express how much it means to us. The phone calls at all hours of the day, you know, sitting and chatting through things that when we were worried and when we were upset, and when, you know, when the IVF failed and we thought life was unfair and we hated everything, you know, our parents were really there to help us through. The visits that we had as well really helped. The advice that you've given us when we've been scared, just all of it has been so helpful to us, and we really could not have done it on our own. So yeah, I just want to say big thank you again for that to our parents. Thank you to our friends and the followers that have been watching our journey so far. It's been a really bumpy ride, you know, but we're so glad to share it with you all. It's good to have a record of what we've been through, obviously, but the main reason we wanted to do this is because we wanted people who are going through the same thing as us to know that they are not alone. And if even one person has taken any bit of advice away from any of our videos, it's worth it, you know, because it's a scary process, really scary. And if you don't know what to expect, I didn't know what to expect, and I know that videos helped me on YouTube. But thank you for following our journey, the support that I've had from everybody, from on Facebook, on YouTube and everything. Makes you feel better, you know, especially, again, when, I know I keep saying about it, but when our fresh cycle failed, had no end of, you know, wishful comments and people supporting us and saying they, you know, they felt for us and they know that it would work next time, and that, you know, we just had to keep trying. And even though we didn't believe it at that time, those thoughts were really comforting to us. So thank you. Yeah, I just want to say a quick hi to Nadia as well, who went through IVF at the same time as me at the same clinic on our fresh cycle, and she's now 20 weeks. So big congratulations, you're looking great, and I hope everything goes well in the coming weeks. I look forward to watching your videos. So that's all from me today. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to continue following our journey, then subscribe below if you haven't already. And yeah, thanks again. Bye bye.